Edie K, and I'm super excited today because this is my first ever episode of Edie K TV where I have an actual guest. I just got back from a week and a half long vacation with all of my siblings. Most of them are gone. Went back home today, but one of my sisters is here for one final day, which is cool. We get some one-on-one time. The bonus of that is when I was coming up with what I was going to talk about this week, it actually ties into what my sister Terry does for a profession. And Terry is a professional dog trainer in San Francisco. One of our sisters, we were in the middle of a conversation, and one of them was experiencing some negativity and some anxiety about a situation that was happening. When you get that many people together, you're going to have a lot of those situations. But what she physically, as she was experiencing this negativity, and she was like, I don't like that, and I don't like this, and that person made me mad, or whatever, and she literally went, and totally shook it off, and just watching her do that, I could see her then be able to relax and get out of her negativity.
It's funny because I coach my clients on the same thing. You know, when dogs are in a stressful situation, which oftentimes training situations can be stressful because stress is not necessarily a bad thing. We experience it as humans, the animals experience it too, and so I try to coach my clients on recognizing when their dog is stressed and understanding when they're shaking off the stress of the situation, because they will do that. And at that point, I coach them as well to shake off the stress, because if they're releasing it, you want to release it to you so that you don't have more further emotion attached to it. You just shake it off and move on, just like the dog is doing. Then it's easier to let go of the stressful situation if you can let go of the stressful situation.
So when she did that shaking off thing, it immediately reminded me of how important that is for us to do ourselves as human beings, to shake that off, to shake off that negative energy other than letting it stew in us. And Eckhart Tolle talks about this in his book, The Power of Now. He was actually writing the story, writing the book, The Power of Now, and he took a break from his writing, and he went outside and sat in front of his pond. And I'll just give you the quick version, and then I'll put a link below this video, so if you want to go listen to it, the full version of what he learned from that story and how he describes it, then you'll want to check that out because it's really cool. But basically, he watched the ducks on the pond, and he saw two ducks, you know, starting to just peacefully out on the pond, and they start floating towards each other. And the closer they get, there was some negativity coming on, like conflict coming on. Pretty soon they're fighting. They're like, and their wings are flapping, and they're really going at it, and they're having this really big fight. Lasts about 30 seconds. He's witnessing this whole thing. The fight lasts about 30 seconds. And it's over, and they turn opposite directions, and they start floating opposite directions away from each other, but you can clearly see that they're still agitated, that the two ducks are still agitated at each other. And all of a sudden, they both, almost at the same time, get kind of pick themselves up off the water and do a really aggressive, dramatic full body shake with their feathers, and they're flinging their feathers and they're shaking it off. And as soon as they did that, they were peaceful again. They came back down on the water, and they were completely at peace, and he could see it. He could see this happening. There's a full version of that story, and it's really cool to hear Eckhart Tolle talk about it, and I'll put a link below this video where you can go check out how he describes that, what he witnessed, and what he took away from that, and how he decided to put that in his book. But basically, he talks about how as human beings we need to do that too. If we don't, then you're keeping that negativity in, and then you're starting to tell stories about what just happened, and we recreate the experience again by telling the story in our mind. So even when you're faced with not just a situation where family members are talking about other things and you're feeling negativity and you shake it off, but even when it just comes into your brain, even when the reminder of that story, like, I can't believe that girl said that to me, or I can't believe that person said that to me, and when those thoughts starts coming into your brain, you can literally You know, shake it off, just like a dog would. You can literally shake it off and you instantly feel relief.
It's true. You do.
I hope that this video helped you today. I'm, again, super excited that I had my first ever guest, and I hope to have more guests for you, because I know there's some insight from other people just other than me. If you liked this video, make sure that you like it on Facebook, tweet it on Twitter, share it with somebody else, because these little things, it's the little tips and tools and tricks that we get that can really help us as we're trying to navigate different personalities in our relationships in our life. So, again, I'm Edie K, and I look forward to talking to you next time. Release that negativity that otherwise would get built up. I don't know.
That's a weird noise.
I don't know.
There's nothing we can do
I don't
about
know.
it.
Do
We
have
wanted to
pause?
film outside. We knew noise was going to be a problem. Here we are dealing with it.
I can't control it.